How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about Spurs because there's a defender in as well as a defender going out. We're going to take a look at all of the Premier League action this weekend. And the last piece of news involves Sancho because he has finally escaped Manchester United.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So it's Friday morning and there's a lot to talk about. There's been a few transfers and we do have some Premier League games over the course of the weekend. First place we're going to start is Spurs because there's been a little bit of action there, shall we say. Player going in, player going out, both in the same kind of position defensively. First thing we'll speak about is the player that does come in. Dragusin. Now, I've seen so much over the last few days of this player and whether he's going to Bayern Munich or going to Spurs, and he's turned down Bayern Munich and, kept his word. It's a £26.7 million deal. Signing from Genoa, Romania international. And I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about him. I've never heard of him. Someone will have to tell me. I've kind of looked at some of the comments and things that go around on social media, and it's kind of mixed in some respects. Some people are saying, well, he must be weak-minded if he's turned down Bayern Munich. He's given up his opportunities to win trophies and whatnot. From what I do gather, his agent is very outspoken and seems to have already annoyed a lot of Spurs fans. And he's already saying that his player, he can see him at Real Madrid in 3-4 years' time and whatnot. And it's not the greatest of starts for an agent, is it? Maybe he was a little bit annoyed that he didn't go to Munich and he didn't get a bigger, signing on fee or something like that. I don't know. But you'll have to let me know in the comment section what he's like as a player and whether this is a good move for Spurs, a good signing, shall we say. Because honestly, I'm not going to be one of these that sits here and go, oh my God, he's amazing, he's this, he's that, when all they've done is watch a YouTube compilation. Nah, I'd rather get the thoughts of people that are watching and actually know a little bit about him and can actually say with an honest eye, this is what he's about. Let me know his strengths, weaknesses, etc. Player going out is Eric Dyer, and he has gone to Bayern Munich. And I'm sitting here and I'm genuinely scratching my head and I'm like, how on earth has he managed to get a move to Bayern Munich? Whoever his agent is, please tell him to give me a call because I would love an agent like that can get you a move like that. My word, how on earth has Eric Dyer gone to Bayern Munich? I get Harry Kane going to Bayern Munich, but Eric Dyer, no disrespect, international footballer, played loads of games in the Premier League and everything else, but he is a bang average footballer. I'm sorry, it's as simple as that. You speak to Spurs fans, they've been absolutely fuming anytime he comes into the side because they're like, he is by nature, his name, Dyer. Like, he is poor. He is a poor player. Maybe the Bundesliga is a little bit slower. Maybe it will actually suit him. I don't know. But it's just an absolutely mad one that he's got that move to Bayern Munich. There's always some transfers that kind of leave you scratching your head a bit and going, how did that happen? What's happened there? Thomas Tuchel is, known to the Premier League, so he'll know who he is. But it just doesn't fit for me. It just doesn't sound right. It's weird, but it is what it is, man. You know what it's like with the Premier League. We never know. And there's always an odd one there that just leaves you a little bit scratching your head. But yeah, good luck to him. Sancho. Now, this is a transfer that's been waiting to happen for a while, but he has gone back to Borussia Dortmund on loan until the end of the season. He has finally escaped Manchester United and Erik ten Hag, and this was the best thing to happen. It was the best thing to happen to Manchester United. He's gone for the season. They don't have to talk about him no more. But the catch-22 is that if he goes back to Borussia Dortmund and rediscovers the form that he had, which got him the move to Manchester United, people will start sitting there and going, well, what's this? Manchester United are going to have to sit there and put up with the likes of Anthony doing 1,000 spins, no end product. And then you would have someone like Jadon Sancho that's been outed by Erik ten Hag, goes to Germany and tears it up. And everyone will be like, well, why couldn't he do that here? It must be the manager. So it is a catch-22. For Manchester United, they'll want him to go to Germany and not do well, because then it justifies the decision. But listen, he's still only 23 years old. He's got his whole future in front of him. There's always been talk about his temperament, mindset, and the way he is and whatnot. Obviously, he was never going to come out and apologise for his tweet about, the situation with Erik ten Hag and whatnot. But so there's a stubbornness within him. But listen, I hope he goes and can rediscover his form and go and enjoy the rest of his season and his football. And then there kind of will be that argument at the end of the season. What happens? Manchester United will want to get rid of him. If Erik ten Hag is there, then they'll definitely want to get rid of him because he ain't going to bring him back. But for Manchester United, they'll want him to hit the ground running from a financial point of view. Because if they sell him in the summer, if you've got a player that's absolutely tearing it up again, they're not going to recoup the money that they bought him for, but they will at least get a little something a bit extra. So, it's going to be interesting to see how he does out there. Been given the number 10. Some of his comments have already wound up Manchester United fans. He's saying he feels like he's back home. It's standard stuff from footballers now and what they say and, grabbing the badge and kissing it and all the rest of it. I would say that he has more loyalty to Dortmund than he would Manchester United. You got to remember he was at Man City's academy. It is what it is at the end of the day. Take it with a pinch of salt. It's not that deep, is it? But we'll see how he does back at Dortmund. Premier League games over the course of the weekend. Now, of course, this is kind of the winter break in England, and it's done a little bit differently. It's split over the course of 2 weekends. So there will be games this weekend. There are teams on a winter break, so they got 2 weeks off, Arsenal being one of them. And they're out in Dubai at the moment and having warm weather training, etc. And then obviously the teams that are playing this weekend, they then go off and they now get a 2 week, break after this one. So some interesting games in there. From Arsenal's perspective, I know you can say next weekend you got a game at home against Crystal Palace, and you got teams like Spurs, Man City, etc., Villa, and everyone not playing. But on the flip side, they're playing this weekend. So what you don't want is them winning and then, you're sitting there going, oh no, we're further behind. But some interesting games tonight. Burnley, Luton, big game at the bottom end. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in that one. Tomorrow, Chelsea, Fulham, the West London derby. Absolutely random. It's not really a derby for me. But Newcastle against Manchester City, that's a big game. I'm looking forward to watching that one tomorrow evening. Newcastle at St James's Park, but they're not, in the best of places, and injuries and everything. And Man City, they've looked good since they've come back from the Club World Cup. Everton against Aston Villa. Again, that's a big game. Tough one for Aston Villa at Goodison Park. And then the last big game of the weekend, Manchester United against Tottenham. How will Tottenham do going to Old Trafford, and how will Manchester United do in general? Because they've not been great this season, have they? So it's some interesting games, some really good ones there. And I'm looking forward to a few of those. And there's something within every single one of those games. And it's going to be very, very interesting. Of course, next weekend, like I was saying, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United, West Ham, Bournemouth, Liverpool, and then Brighton, Wolves, and then the following weekend we get back to normal. So, yeah, that's it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.